Hello, I'm Police Chief Dan Doyle of the Lake Havasu City Police Department. Our mission is to provide a safe and secure environment for our community. Your help is valuable and important to our crime-fighting efforts. If you see suspicious activity, please call Silent Witness at 854-TIPS. You don't have to leave your name, but rewards are paid in some cases. A simple phone call can make a big difference. Please call Silent Witness 24 hours a day to report criminal activity.
We invited them all, and these are the ones that showed up. So, we have asked our members to give us questions to ask. I'm going to give each candidate that's here a minute or so.
Hi, I'm Michelle Lynn. I want to first thank you for allowing me to come back and address your organization. I'm very proud to be a citizen of Lake Havasu. I have a successful business here. My children have a beautiful, safe community to live in, and I hope that my family will be here for a very long time. I would like you to know that I am here to represent the people. I care about the welfare of those that live here. Issues like proper public transportation that meets the needs of all of our citizens. Issues like, affordable sewer rates that are not connected to water use. The proper enforcement of codes to help keep our neighborhoods safe and beautiful. The safety of our small children and animals from coyotes that have moved into our community. The need for better job opportunities through higher education and the supportive growth of our MCC and ASU campus. And finally, the proper safety standards for our fire and police protection crews. I do not represent any other outside organization besides being a small business owner and being an actual functioning citizen in our city. I understand that tourism is our city's bread and butter. I would love to see growth in our city and the increase of tax revenue that it brings. I will continue to support its growth. However, to constantly make huge financial city decisions that affect the people that live here based on what tourism may or may not do for us is ignoring the Lake Havasu citizens. We are the ones paying our tax dollars. Our tax money should be used to take care of those that live here. We need to take care of our own. Without the Lake Havasu businesses and the people that work in them, our community would fail. Please don't let the average citizen be ignored. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting us back to speak with you today. My name is Doug Clays, and just kind of a quick background about me. I hail from a small farming community in the southwest Minnesota area. During the mid-'60s and the farming crisis, my dad ended up selling off on the farm, and we moved up to the Minneapolis area where I graduated from high school. After high school, I went to St. John's University. I achieved my BA at St. John's via scholarships, working, and some student loans, and I have paid off every single penny of my student loans.
Thank you.
Shortly after leaving college, I joined IBM, and while at IBM, I achieved my master's degree by going through evening school and going to school on Saturdays. So then stayed with IBM until I retired, and kind of brought me here to Havasu. A couple of things that we're focused on, things that we want to be able to accomplish from the city council point of view. We believe that you should be able to have term limits for the mayor, for the city council. We don't want to have people having life jobs sitting on the bench up there. We want new people with fresh ideas to help the city grow. The second thing is, if we have to have this sewer fees, why do we have to have them tied to the water usage? 90% of the people in this city hate it. If that's the case, then let's do something about it and change it for them. But most importantly, what I want to focus on is the sewer bonds. If you take a look, the city is now paying out $22 million a year for principal and interest as service debt against our sewer bonds. That's $22 million that's not getting reinvested into this economy. So if you look at what everybody is talking about is how do we bring businesses here? How do we have economic growth here in Lake Havasu? Let's add $22 million a year to the people and to the businesses of this community to help develop business. And if we pay off these sewer bonds early, we'll also be able to save $36 million in interest that we will not have to pay. So that's what we're focused on. And with that, and at the end of the day, I'm going to ask for your support and for your vote for City Council. Thank you.
Joe.
Hi, my name is Joe Tomlin, and I'd like to thank all who showed up today to listen to us. As you know, there's 3 seats open for City Council. The time has come for change. Over the last 9 to 10 months, I've spoken to well over 1,500 citizens at our local events. The average citizen of Havasu has lost trust and faith in our city's government. Often there are no real debates or challenges on issues among city council members at our council meetings. Citizens feel that many of our city council members are too complacent, offering no real alternative ideas and solutions to the city problems, and act as if the issue before the council meetings had already been decided among the council members, PED, CVB, and the Chamber of Commerce, prior to the meetings with the exclusion of the public. Council members need to do more than merely warm a seat. Critical key city issues are being mismanaged: the sewer bond paydown, city transit, code enforcement, unnecessary city spending, while overlooking the needs of our residents, seniors, and working families. Our city must continue its outreach to other cities and promote the opportunities that Havasu has to offer for small, medium-sized business. City transit. By turning to interagency looking for answers, solutions, is doing nothing but adding fuel to the fire. Going the direction to separate low-income families from our society is just plain wrong. We must move this forward in a positive direction that is fair for all citizens. This is a city problem and should be dealt with accordingly. It is up to the city manager and council to come up with a workable solution for all. We must solve this on the inside, not on the outside of City Hall. We must make our city government more transparent to the citizens, giving them back the respect, the support they so deserve. We must make our city council's voice, presence more visible in the eyes and ears of the citizens. I'd like to address a few of the concerns and be part of the fix-it on these issues. I want to encourage new business and corporate headquarter opportunities in our city. I think we need to take a look at the PED and how it's performing its task. Another opportunity is when the Chamber encourages new business owners and operators to enroll in Chamber-supported business, planning seminars and assist startup of business with the many planning needs and realities that new business endeavors must face. We need to support strong trade schools for young workers and a solid business program for higher education. Business fail because they don't have a sound business plan or fail to properly evaluate the business opportunity. Our chamber and local MCC can aid in new startup business as well as offer meaningful aid and counsel to more established business. Through our efforts to provide ready business trained employees with programs at MCC and ASU, we are building the employee resource base to support national cooperative type headquarter jobs.
Are you almost done?
Yep.
Okay.
I do not support play like you mean it, nor will I gamble with the citizens' money for support on the wayfinding project at this time. Thank you, and I would appreciate your vote on August 26th.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me here. I think most of you know me, but just in case, I'm going to give you just a tiny little bit of a background on me. I've been in Lake Havasu City now for 11 years. And during that time, I have supported a lot of clubs and done a lot of fundraising for a lot of different things. My background is that I come from being a real estate broker in California for about 40 years. And I also was a contractor in California. My husband is a B contractor, and I held the A contractor's license, allowing us to work in the oil fields, which is what we did at the end of our career. We both retired at 55, and then I went back to work. And I worked for 10 years for the City of Taft Police Department as a correctional officer. We had a facility there, and we had state inmates on loan, or that's who we took care of. So I did that for 10 years, and then we came to Lake Havasu. And we purchased property here, and we remodeled our property, and then I was bored, and so I got involved. And I have been involved with a lot of organizations. Presently, I am president of the MCC Foundation Board here in Lake Havasu City. And I am also the District 4 Director for the AZFRW, the Republican Women. And I am on one of the governor's boards, the holistic, it's a holistic board. Anyway, and I'm just a member of the Silent Witness now because I was president and now I'm stepped down and someone else is president. Which leads me to the way I feel about the City Council. I want to be on the City Council. I think everybody knows that. This is my third time to run. I know a little bit more about running than I knew when I started, I'll tell you that for sure. But I am sincere about this. I would like to be on the City Council. I feel that I have something to offer. I am concerned about Havasu. I'm concerned about the problems that we have. I would like to see the sewer debt paid off. I think it's kind of like you have a house payment that has a balloon payment, which is what one of ours has, a balloon payment. And if we wait until that comes due in 15 years, then the whole amount is going to be due at once. Because the only thing we're paying on the one I'm talking about, which is the 15-year bond, is the interest. We're not paying at all on the debt itself. We're only paying interest payments. And it's going to be really horrendous if we don't start doing something about that. I know that the mayor's plan is to refinance it. But WIFA is not in the mood to let us do that, and without their permission, we can't do that. So we need to pay it off. The other thing that I think about the sewer is I believe that since everybody voted for the sewer, everybody should be paying for the sewer. We all got into this together. This is a togetherness. And it's unfair that just the people who managed to get themselves hooked up to the sewer, we were so delighted about that, have to pay for it. I'm not sure exactly what we can do because there are all these rules and regulations, but there has to be a way that everyone in this city pays for the sewer. Everyone is benefiting from the clean water, so everybody should be helping to pay for it. As far as wayfinding is concerned, I've listened to all the arguments back and forth. I've heard the business people in town talk about how many hours their employees spend trying to tell people how to get to the bridge. And I'm sure that that must be a problem. But I'm not too sure that we should spend $800,000 or whatever it is on putting up signs. Okay. All right, well, I thank you very much, and my new slogan for this year is, you vote for me, and I'll vote for you. Thank you.
Cal.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cal Sheehy, and I'm running for Lake Havasu City Council. It's been a real pleasure getting to know each of you over the last 6 months. I've sat at different tables throughout that period and was able to hear the different topics and discussions and things that matter to you. So today I'm excited to be able to tell you a little bit about myself in a more open forum. So I'm running for Lake Havasu City Council because I believe that stable, well-managed, and thoughtful governance will lead our community into the future. I believe that skills and attributes such as honesty, integrity, listening, and experience are important skills for a Lake Havasu City Council member to have. Those are skills that I have. A little background information about me is I am the Vice President and General Manager of London Bridge Resort. I've held that position for over 10 years. I'm a longtime Lake Havasu City resident. My roots date back to the late 70s when my grandma moved out to Lake Havasu and was a nurse at the hospital back when the hospital was just that front building when you pull into the complex today. We then moved here permanently in 1995. I'm a graduate of Lake Havasu High School. I then started at the resort when I was in high school, started cleaning rooms there, moved my way up through bell service and front desk and reservations, and then I became the guest service manager, and I thought I had made it. And so from there, I realized that the horizon was much bigger, and I was offered a position at a property in Florida, and that was the first property that I led on my own, and then I became a regional manager and had other resorts in the southeast. before moving back here in 2004 to lead London Bridge Resort. I have a bachelor's degree in business marketing, and I have an MBA from the University of Phoenix. I did that while I was living and working here, because at that time we didn't have higher education facilities to obtain your master's degree. A couple of the issues that I'm running on and what I think are very important to the future of Lake Havasu City is a diversified economy. I really think it's important that we bring well-paying, diverse jobs to our community, and I think we can do that through stable leadership and business attraction and retention. I also believe that economic diversity and economic development is going to happen through tourism, which is near and dear to my heart. It's what I do every day, so I'm very familiar with how we can use that conduit to help attract new business to our community. Now, when I talk about diversified economy, the next question that comes up is, how do we have an educated workforce to help us diversify that economy? And I believe our partnerships with Mojave Community College, NAU, and ASU will allow us to take our workforce and skill them into the different areas that we can go after and attract those businesses. So I believe we need to continue to facilitate those relationships. You know, the sewer is a very large and hot topic issue. It's a very complex issue. So for me to tell you in 2 seconds what I'm going to do about sewer would do a disservice to you. And what you will find with me is I'm a listener and I'm a truth teller. So I'll always tell you the truth. I'm not going to put any spin on it. So it's too large of an issue for me to discuss now, but of course if it's one of the questions, I'll give you a little bit more background. I also believe in public transportation. I think that a mobile community is very important, but I also think that we need to manage that expense because it's a very large expense for a very small amount of users. So that's an issue that we will absolutely have to address. I believe in a well-managed and balanced code enforcement policy, and I think that we need to live up to the city codes that currently exist. And finally, I am a believer in term limits. I believe it gives incentive to your elected officials to get in, get the work done, and do their best for you as residents of this community. So those are a few of the issues that are important to me, and I'll leave the rest of my issues for questions that come from Sue. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, now that we know who they are,